Hello, you've arrived at the Mental Health and Eating Disorder Podcast, helping you hold hope by capturing stories and inspiring recovery. Thanks for listening. Take a moment and scan your body, starting from the top of your head, moving down the forehead, behind the eyes, the muscles and bones around the eyes, the temples, the earlobes, the space under the nose, the jawline, the jaw muscles, the neck, the back of the neck, the top of the shoulders, left and right, moving down the arms to the elbows, forearms, wrists. Send attention to all 5 fingers on the left hand and all 5 fingers on the right hand. Softening the chest bones, softening the back if it's on the ground, feeling it and sensing it. Softening the organ area inside of your ribs, the rib area, the heart, the lungs, the liver, the stomach, the kidneys, below the navel. Softening the pelvic girdle, bringing attention to the lower back, completely letting the lower back rest and be heavy. Send attention to the thigh bones, the back of the legs, the space under the knee, the left kneecap and the right kneecap, the shins, the calves if they're resting on the ground, and the feet, both heels simultaneously. Bring your attention to the left sole of the foot, the left foot pad, the ball of the foot. Imagine the space where the toes touch the ground, the big toe, and the next toe, and the next one, and the next one, and the little bitty baby one. On the right foot, imagine the sole of the foot, the pad of the feet, the ball of the feet. Bringing attention to the space under each toe, the big toe, next toe, the next toe, the next one, and the baby toe. Now taking 3 deep breaths as we slowly drop this calm, relaxed body into a more relaxed state. 1 deep breath in, sipping a little more breath, and then letting out at your own pace. Do that again, breathing in all the way to the top of the breath, and then sipping in a little more breath, and then letting it out at your own pace. And 1 more time on your own. Now as we go through relaxing the body a bit more, we're going to count slowly down from 10, looking for the most relaxation by the time we get to 1. Imagine now where your body is comfortably laying. Imagine that you could have it be a little bit heavier on the ground. 10. Imagine your shoulders, the back of your head, your lower back, your glutes, your feet, whatever's touching the ground. Imagine it sinking a little bit deeper, as if you're in sand. 9. Take a deep breath through the back of the heart. Soften that whole space. Then breathe that air into the front of the heart. 2 big breaths there. 8. Now imagine that the sand is turning into warm, lulling water. And you're just floating on that water, effortlessly and calmly. 7. Feel the pelvis, the pelvic area, the hip bones resting on the ground. Imagine that they are sinking into earth, becoming one with earth. 6. Take another deep breath in, feeling how relaxed your body is, how it's feeling slowly towards weightlessness. 5. Now slowly imagine that there isn't weight to your body. Imagine that it is ever so slightly lifting off from the ground, holding its own space. 4. Now imagining as it's weightless, that you could travel somewhere else, away from the sensations of your body, away from the story of this room or this meditation, and that you're traveling somewhere else deeper. 3. So deep that you float, effortless, with no pain, no worry, no cares. Complete rest, complete peace. 3. Watch how your breath now is slow, it is steady, it is calm. You are weightless, effortless, relaxed. You don't even really feel your body anymore. 2. Because you're separate from it. You've allowed it to stay while you've lifted above, light and calm. Complete rest, complete calm. You are now completely at rest. 1. While we're in this restful, calm, relaxed state, we're going to keep our body here, floating, safe, confident, and relaxed as we talk through stages of flight. While you're here in this state, imagine planning for the bags that you will bring, the containers that will be filled, figuring out the size and the space, discussing checking your bags, discussing what's coming and going on the trip. Imagine as you stay ever so calm, looking at your tickets online, reviewing the details, reading the name of the airline, looking at the seat number, remembering that your body is so still and so calm. These are just symbols and motions as we talk through them. Imagine the night before, all the bags are packed. They're sitting in the hallway, the passports, the IDs, prepared for however you'll get to the airport. Again, the body completely calm at a 1. Imagine the next morning, either getting a ride or driving to the airport. All your stuff in the car, checking everybody's items. What's your carry-on? What's going to be in your carry-on? Are there snacks, gum, book, a tablet, music, headphones, a pillow? You're driving to the airport, totally relaxed, just watching the scene. You see the signs. Airport ahead, the exit ramp. You might even see a plane flying in the sky. But you have no response to it because your body is in a different state. It cannot react. It is only here to watch. It only recognizes the symbols of what we're talking about. You're still at a 1. And then you park your car or get dropped off, and you start to walk towards the terminal, looking at the people coming and going, hearing the planes, seeing the planes, looking at the tower, walking into the doors where people will check in, check their bags, go through security. Imagine all the different parts of that big terminal. There's bathrooms, there's places to eat, places to sit, places to check in, security, and you're still just a 1. These are just places. And all of these places and spots lean into adventure, innovation, something new, neuroplasticity, wherever you're going. If it's a vacation or work or something different, there's something new for you. But these symbols, the places, the flight experience, it stays where it is, calm, relaxed, confident, and ready. Imagine you've been sitting, checked in, having a coffee or water, talking with others if they're going with you, and they start announcing the gate's going to open. They announce the flights. You hear other flights being announced. You see people coming and going. You see people getting in line, standing in line, getting ready to get on their planes. You see people walking with luggage, and they're just going by, drifting by like boats on the water. You're still at a 1, relaxed and completely unaffected by the scene, confident, calm, safe. And now it's your turn to get in line, and you wait your turn, and you have your ticket perhaps, or your digital ticket in hand, and the person at the desk is smiling and announcing, And there's people around you bustling and preparing, figuring out where they're going. And you're standing there getting ready to enter that hallway, walkway. You hand your ticket or you get your ticket buzzed and you walk through that hall. It's like a little corridor, right? Heading off to the plane, a little makeshift corridor. It might smell a little bit like airplane fuel. It might have some noise. You might see down the way as you get closer, there might be a stewardess or a pilot standing there. It could be a little backed up as people get ready to get on the plane. It's only a passageway to something wonderful and different and potentially exciting. You have no emotion here. Your body is calm. It is steady. It looks and sees the corridor. Then you move forward and you walk onto the plane. You see the opening with a nice, beautiful, calm breath. You look at the actual plane, the part of it you can see, the opening, the stewardess or pilot that's standing there, or the back of the head of the person in front of you. You see how the door opens and closes. You start to see signs, directions, and there's a little step up to get onto the plane. But you are safe, confident, and ready. This step is just a symbol of a transportation, of a new adventure, of a place to be. Your body remains at a 1, floating above this story, floating above this space, and simply allowing this experience to be in the moment and exactly what it is. Safe. Nothing bad is happening. Nothing bad has happened. Nothing bad will happen. And then you walk through, maybe smile, acknowledge a person, the stewardess, a pilot, and you start to look for your seat. And you see people putting stuff in the overhead cabin, and you see people getting into their seats, and you see the top of the seat, the little windows that you look out. Some are open, some might be closed. And you search for the numbers and slowly find your seat. You float effortlessly, safely and confident above your seat, looking down at the space that will get you to a new travel, a new opportunity, maybe a new adventure. And you put your stuff up in the overhead compartment and you grab your carry-on piece that's going to sit in the seat with you. And you get into your seat and you look around and there's a seat in front of you, likely, with a pocket, and there might be some things in that pocket. There's a little tray that can come down. There might be a video screen. There's probably above you some buttons, some alerts and alarms, some areas that will give you information and light up while you fly. There's probably something to adjust the back of your seat. If you're by the window, the ability to lower or upper the shade on the window. While you sit here, take a deep breath, floating above, calm, watching the scene safely, looking around and realizing nothing's happening. The body can stay completely at rest, completely relaxed, completely calm, being mindful only of the symbols and the moment that's occurring. And then the last person comes in and they close the door. You might hear it. The steward or stewardess might start to talk. Usually at this point, they might give some directives. And again, the people on the plane are safe. You are safe. You are confident, relaxed, and calm. And then you put your seatbelt on, and the pilot announces that we're going to start moving to the runway. And you feel that beautiful elevation of self, that giving in to this beautiful setting, the awareness of only the moment, the safe, confident space around you. And you click into your space and maybe look out the window and feel the plane start to move. And as it moves, you are still suspended in this beautiful, relaxed state, knowing how safe and wonderful this moment is. And then the plane will start to go down the runway, speeding up at times, maybe slowing down. And it'll get louder and it'll get quicker. And at some point, it'll lift off the ground to meet you where you are. It's lifting up higher, just like you're up higher, relaxed, transcendent, calm. A symbol of air flight, of possibilities, of innovation, of a normal, beautiful human experience. And it's safe, and you're safe. And as you go up, all you recognize is the mindful moment. What an opportunity. How grateful for this. How exciting. And your body remains so stress-free, so limber, so aware and curious only. And once the pilot gets to the height that they like to fly at, and they tell you that you can take your seatbelt off, maybe you have a window, or you can look out, and now that beautiful, relaxed, floating space that you've made for yourself, that safe, beautiful spot where your body feels nothing tense, can now match the beautiful view, maybe of clouds, of sunlight, of twinkling lights if it's night. And you can meet that place right up there. You've already been here. You've created this beautiful, calm, safe, wonderful spot. And now your body is matching it with this wonderful buoyancy of being up in a plane up above the clouds and slowly, gently, safely moving towards your destination. Sometimes the plane will change its sounds. The engine might sound louder or quieter. The plane might bump and jump at times. It might shake at times. You might have to put your seatbelt on as the alert shows up and lets you know that there's some weather patterns ahead that can affect the calmness of the flight. But you won't be affected because you already put yourself in the state that you're going to stay in the whole time. You will stay in this beautiful, suspended, calm, floating space, even when the plane bobbles and bumps and jumps, even when you have to put your seatbelt on, because you know you are confident, relaxed, and safe. All these other things are just moments in a mindful experience. They're just symbols of an experience that was never supposed to be one level. Of course, there's other levels, but you don't have to go to those levels. You can stay right where you're at the whole time. And then eventually the plane will start to descend and the pilot will tell you to prepare. And little by little, you'll see it get closer and closer to the earth. But you are going to stay right where you're at, floating, calm, one. And then you hear the wheels hit down with this little bit of a screech, a little bit of a jolt. And you feel the plane on the runway slowing down slowly as it comes to its destination. And then it comes to a stop. And the pilot will announce something. And you'll look around, still in that number one, calm, relaxed state. And you'll see that you safely got to your adventure, new setting, experience, or whatever's waiting for you on the other side. Take a moment then and take in a deep breath and thank your body for being able to stay in this beautiful transcendent space. Now we're going to return to our consciousness into our current body space. I'll slowly count us up from 1 to 10. Taking a deep breath in. 1. Building some awareness of the space behind your eyes. 2. Putting energy into the space in the middle of your forehead and the top of your head. 3. Bringing some awareness to your shoulders and your arms. 4. Maybe wiggling your toes, maybe wiggling your fingertips. 5. Sensing your middle body region, your organs, your lower stomach area, being aware of anything that has changed. 6. Maybe flexing ever so slightly the lower body, legs, and then relaxing them. 7. Paying extra attention to where your body is touching the ground. Can you feel all the points of contact? 8. Stopping and listening. What do you hear? What's in the space where you're at now? Maybe you smell something, or maybe the temperature has changed. 9. One more big breath in. Take one big stretch, maybe your arms overhead, making your body long, a deep morning stretch. And 10. Welcome back to your conscious state, the current place where your body is, and is probably much more relaxed. Peace. Thank you for exploring hope today on the Mental Health and Eating Disorder podcast. I hope you join me again, or find more support and links in the show notes. Peace.